Today I'm chatting with former New Zealand television presenter Megan Alatini. Now, she's been a singer, she's been a television presenter, she's now living in Japan with her husband, who is now there playing rugby. She's back in New Zealand over the summer holidays and joins me now for a chat. So nice to see you. Welcome to my home.
It is so gorgeous to be here, but I'm a little bit disappointed.
Why?
Because you're making me out to be a bloody has-been. She has been a singer,
well,
and now I'm just... nothing.
She's hanging around in New Zealand. Tell me what you've been up to. How's Japan? Tell me about the kids. Tell me about what's going on.
Well, you know, I have 3 beautiful children. Tanika is now 13 going on 21, and it's very scary because the teenagers in New Zealand grow up way too fast. But she's lovely, and she's just had a wonderful year. She's at school in Japan and she's passed all her Japanese studies, and so we're really, really proud of her.
Cool.
Then there's Tiara, our little drama queen. She's almost 6 years old.
And I wonder where she gets that from.
You. Yes. But Tiara's almost 6 and she is almost graduating from preschool to elementary school, which is really exciting. And then my little chocolate boy Trey, he's just turned 4, and because he's a little monkey, we had his birthday at the zoo, which was just, I thought, totally appropriate.
I saw pictures of that.
But I have to tell you, it's wonderful to be home, especially this time of the year. I mean, it's so hot. This is the best summer we've had, I believe. And to be able to lap that up after spending a lot of time in the bitter winter of Kamaishi is just beautiful. And then I get to hang with beautiful people such as yourself.
So how is the, because the temperatures over there, last year there was earthquakes, it was just before you came home last year, and the temperatures, are they similar to New Zealand climate?
Where we live now, we're about 4 hours north of Tokyo in a little country seaside town called Kamaishi. And Kamaishi, we're very spoilt because we're surrounded by beautiful beaches, but we only get to use them about 4 weeks of the year because the rest of the time it is very cold. So we're obviously at opposite ends of seasons, where right now it's snowing, it's winter. And it's a beautiful, beautiful place, and we get to experience a lot of gorgeous things. But god damn, it's cold. It's cold.
But a winter wardrobe is so much better than a summer. I mean, I have seen what you strut, and you work it. You always have, and the clothes.
Well, that's the thing. You know, we're supposed to be in Japan, living a different lifestyle and experiencing a different culture, but I tell you what, one thing that I see as an absolute bonus is the fashion.
Yeah.
The winter fashion is amazing, and I've been told, not just from what I've seen, but from what I've read, that Japan is at the forefront of fashion these days, and especially being in Tokyo, it's amazing. And what I love is that you can just do whatever you want, you can wear whatever you want, and it's okay. Whereas sometimes I feel like we come back to New Zealand, it's like, ugh, what do you think you're doing wearing that? And I think, I thought I was so cool, but maybe
Femininity is very high on the agenda living in a country like that, because you've got the smaller woman, and not saying anything bad about New Zealanders, but
because we like full figures, let's not lie.
Well, we like a few yummy yummies at dinner time. Yes. And so you can probably cater for more over there because of the sizing, and there's so much more to choose from, right? There
is so much more to choose from, one, because it's such a huge population, so they really try and cater for a variety of people. But you're so right with the femininity. The women there are just so beautifully groomed that sometimes you walk out the door and you think, now, which fashion show are they going to? Because, god damn, they look gorgeous. Yeah. But they just love to be women and to be proud of it. So I've learned to kind of grasp a little bit of that, and it's a good excuse to go and do a bit of shopping and get the nails done and the hair done, and before you know it, I have to be on the street busking for some extra money.
Now, speaking of that, Peter's over there playing rugby. How long have you guys lived over there now?
Goodness, we've been in Japan on and off for about 5 seasons now, so he's just completed his 5th season of rugby. But bearing in mind, I spent about 18 months back in New Zealand.
Yeah, that's right.
So I've kind of done...
That was during New Zealand Idol. Yes. That was ages. It seems like ages ago that was all underway.
What was that, 2007?
Was it 7?
It was 2007, I think. Yeah. Anyway, but
we were both in the pivotal points of our career. You were doing that, and I was in radio, and it was all very fabulous. But anyway, that's a whole other story. So
we always get back to that.
Yeah. One day, somewhere out there,
beneath the... Sing it.
Yeah, I can't sing the words. I don't know the words. But so he's just finished his 5th season, and what's on the cards for him for the next couple of years?
Well, at the moment, he still feels that he's young enough and fit enough to play. So let's touch wood, because that would be lovely. But to be honest with you, Pete just wants to make the most of his playing career, because as we all know, rugby professionalism doesn't last forever. So while he can still play and run and tackle, he might as well.
Yeah.
And the Japanese people have been really supportive. You know, we always sign year by year, and usually around this time of the year we don't actually know what we're going to be doing the following season. But we've been fortunate enough to be able to sign up for 5 years, and we may be looking hopefully at another 5. So,
how come it's so popular for sports players to go abroad once they've done their stint in New Zealand? Because he's done his stuff here, and there's always the opportunity, because he did that, wasn't there a, what did he do last year where there was...
Classic All Blacks or the Barbarians, yeah.
Is there a need to come back here, or is it because there's only a certain point you can go to in your career, and then you've got to go overseas to get more from what you really love?
Yeah, kind of. I think for Pete, he got to a point in his rugby career where he kind of felt that he was already at his peak. He played all the Super 12, he played all the age groups before then. He was fortunate enough to have donned the All Black jersey, so that was, you know, a beautiful part in his rugby career. But then he also got to a point where there was a lot of politics involved.
Yeah.
You know, if we really think back, Peter was dropped from the All Blacks when he was really at his peak, and he was seen as the number 1 second 5 at that time, but there was a different coaching regime at the time. I think John Mitchell was just made coach, and then there were just all sorts of things that didn't seem to work in Pete's favour. And he got to the point of thinking, well, do I just keep grinding at it, work my butt off, train my butt off, and not be selected, or do I go elsewhere where there's half the rugby time, sometimes double the pay, and here I am, I'm a family man, what should I do?
Yeah.
And also the experience of living overseas, you know, it doesn't come by every day, and if you can live overseas and work and somehow find an earning, well, why would you say no to it? So I think all of those factors really made him decide to just give it a go.
It was hard, though. I remember it being very hard, because you've both got a lot of family here.
Yes.
And I remember when you guys were renovating Peter's parents' place here in Auckland, and you were back here doing New Zealand Idol, and Peter was backwards and forwards, not as much as you would have liked. That's really hard, though, hey, when you've got to leave family behind and go off and pursue your dream.
You know I'm such a crybaby when it comes to things like that, and I know this is not exactly Oprah Winfrey, so I'm not going to cry.
Good for ratings if you do, though.
Honestly, should I hang on a minute?
Jump on the couch! Jump on the couch!
It's difficult because, you know, we love being home. We love our family. We've got amazing family members. Don't tell them I said that, because they might just get a But also we've got fantastic friends. Our friendship circle is so wide, and such a huge variety of people who we just love. And it's those people that have helped us become who and what we are in life.
Yeah.
And so leaving that behind, which is such a big part of you as an individual, it's difficult, because you think, I'm going to a whole other world, another country where I don't really know anybody. Are they going to like me? Am I going to fit in? What am I going to do? You're posed with all these questions, and you just really have to bite the bullet, as they say, and try and make the most of it. And we've been fortunate that we've been in really good regions with really wonderful people who somehow have accepted us. And now we've got a good friendship circle over there, but it's difficult to leave, and every time we have to go home...
Especially for your children. I know it's really tough for your kids, for like leaving your mum and Peter's parents.
Well, this is where nanas are, and aunties and uncles, and that's hard for me as well, because, hello, it's not like I can just go down the road and say, hi, Nana, can you babysit tonight?
Yeah.
So we definitely miss that family connection, but it's a good excuse for you guys to come and visit us.
Oh, I don't know whether I'm quite ready for Tokyo.
What do you
for
mean?
Japan, no.
Why?
No,
You'll
I don't
love
know.
it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Exactly,
I think I probably
you might
would
not want
love
to
it.
come back.
I might not want it. I don't quite know whether Willie's ready for that, or maybe he is.